This is the second Shake and Brew video. Today I'm going to try to do a Hefeweizen, a German wheat beer. Why am I shaking already? Let's just get started. I'm Dr. Hans, this is Dr. Hans Brewery, my channel about beer and homebrewing. Yes, Shake and Brew. I have had this idea and I tried it out and it worked flawlessly. It's an amazing start for people getting into homebrewing. It's super easy, fermenting under pressure. Of course, you don't need to ferment under pressure, but makes just everything easier. So we are brewing beer very fast, both on the brew day, and we'll short down the brewing time as we ferment under pressure, and we can ferment hotter. So this is a floating pickup. This is a 9-liter mini keg, and yeah, you can go and watch the first video. Of course, I did a Kvike, like pale ale. Now I want to do a Hefeweizen. What kind of beer do you want to see brewed this method, the Shake and Brew method? Should we do lager? Something else, an IPA, but today we're doing Hefeweizen. So I made a simple recipe, and this recipe, of course, will go into the book, Dr. Hans recipe book, for my patrons to dig into. It's not 5 o'clock just yet. Cheers. I will be using store-bought bottles, but it's just because this is on video and it was easier for me. Otherwise, I would have boiled my water and cooled it down the day before, but didn't have enough time plan it out. I have a kettle here with half a liter of my tap water. Here we have some sanitizer. And yes, I had some trouble the first time, and now I found this bigger funnel. Awesome. So this will be much easier, I think. Where should we put it? We could put it somewhere here, I guess. I'm gonna boil up 1.5 liter. This is all sanitized, but we'll go in with some hot water. Do we? Shh. I'm trying to record. Shh. I'm trying to record a video here. Video, sorry, I know. Don't start hating just yet. So this is spray malt, this is wheat malt, and this should be 50, actually it says here 55% wheat malt and 45% barley. Ooh! Ooh! So much easier with the bigger funnel. Thanks to God I found it. It is though dusty, but that's not because of the funnel, I guess. That was better. Let's shake it. So we'll try to turn this around. Today is Saturday, so we will see how many days it will take to ferment out. I'm going to ferment this quite hot. Okay, it has clogged. There were some. Now, we're moving again. Is this good content? Everything is in. And stop screaming. Everything is so noisy today. Me also, and there's like spray malt everywhere. This is 17 grams of Mandarina Bavaria and 0.5 grams of yeast nutrient. Going in. Okay. And you can comment on this if you want to. Can you please stop that? I will be using some honey today also. Could use any sugar. This shouldn't really affect the taste, but at least in my mind, extract malt doesn't ferment out as good. Am I wrong? Comment down below. So I will use some more fermentable sugars. So this is 350 grams. So we'll be using 1 kilo of spray malt. That's 1.1 pound bags each. So 1 kilo of spray malt, 8 liters of water, 350 grams of honey, or you can use whatever you like. And we used 17 grams of Mandarina Bavaria. You can use any other hops, but you need to calculate for the difference in alpha acids. We're gonna let this sit hot for 5 minutes. Last time I shaked it for 5 minutes and it almost killed me, so I won't do that today. Ooh, nice. This is 1.5 liter. Oh, she's a squirter. This is some dangerous action shot. This is boiling water. Maybe maybe the funnel is a little bit too tight. Just like me. Oh! Don't try this at home. Ask your mom to help you pour. Why am I doing this? So you don't have to. Ooh, okay. We need to put a timer on this. 5 minutes. Start. Why didn't I bring like mittens or something? Is this good content? That's hot. So the purpose now is to try to dissolve the spray malt and the honey in the honey in the hot water. This is now wort, and of course the hops will give flavor and bitterness, because wort and beer is sweet and we need the hops to balance out that sweetness, to add some bitterness. So I'm like guessing for this one we'll get like not super bitter, because that was not the intention, but maybe somewhere around under 15 IBUs, but maybe around 13, something like that. But that's not actual science. It worked the last time, so hopefully it will work today also. So I won't shake it as much as I did. I will shake it some more. I have 3 more minutes on the clock. Last time I had my infrared thermometer, today I do not, and I'm just gonna wing it. We will have to like use my arm for the sensitivity check here on the temperature. It's almost as accurate as the digital thermometer. Have you considered like liking this video? Help this channel out by liking. If you want more bad content, I do have Patreon and channel membership, or just links down below. You can buy me a beer, really helps out. I know my channel sucks, so I totally get it if you don't subscribe, and you shouldn't maybe do that, because it will only encourage me putting out more videos like this one. I can't help myself. I need to shake it. Yeah. But what song? Shake it like the doctor, shake it like the doctor. And the reason that I don't shake with this one in it, because when you have hot water and hot water and plastic hoses, this could fall off and it would be much more work. This is just a Cask Widge floating dip tube. Okay, time's up. Now I'm just gonna keep on topping this up with water. And each of these is 1.5 liter, and that's why I added 1/2 liter of tap water, You should of course only use tap water, but it depends maybe on how much like chloride you have in your water, of course. My plan is to have this ready for next week. So this is how fast this one should go. If we do a lager fermented under pressure, I think we will need some conditioning time. But wheat beers are very good young, as most hoppy beers are. So we'll see. But this will go fast. You don't need to dip them in sanitizer, but I have sanitizer here, so it won't hurt anything to be extra anal. One more bottle, that would give us 8 liters, that would give us 1 liter of headspace in this 9 liter keg. Yeah, I screwed up the first time. For some reason, I took it for 10 liters, but it's 9 liters. Now we need to give it a shake, mix everything together. This shouldn't need a lot of shaking. This also introduces some air into the wort, which is good for the yeast at start. That's the only time you want air or oxygen in your wort. It's at start. Boom! SAF Ale WB06 dry wheat beer yeast. Okay, so let's do the temperature check. It's perfect. It's nice. So let's open it up. And if you are a bit afraid of over pitching, ask your mom if she can hold your hand. I will be using the whole package. So, Hefeweizen, over pitching and under pressure, you will get no esters. Come on, start hating down below. We will see what happens, right? Let's see. I want this to go fast. You don't need to shake it now, but I will shake it anyway, because it's the Shake and Brew method. So, some extra shaking. Like I said, this forces air into solution, and that's good for the yeast at this stage. All sanitized. I have a video about the Cask Widge. I will link to that one down below. Of course, the other Shake and Brew video I did, and why not? The sour beer, that was the feeling not so sour, where I had 5 kilos of raspberry, and there was no problem for the Cask Widge. If you want to learn more about pressurized fermentation, I have a full playlist including 3 Q&A videos. I can link to that one below. So a lot of your questions should be answered. The only reason why I put some pressure on here now is to dial in my spunding valve. When you're dialing in your spunding valve, first release this, or you will shoot this across the room if you're letting gas out too fast. Okay, 15 psi. This is a heating mat. This is for like plants, but it works good for this purpose also. You could also buy one of those heating mats that are for reptilians, like you have in a terrarium. That's why I have as a heat source in my fridge behind me. I actually have 2 of them. I also used a heating mat with a bucket and just place some insulation on the floor. Gonna bring on some insulations here straight in a second. This piece of foam here is for the temperature probe, so this we can control the heat here. In this room we have about 16 degrees Celsius, so the room itself will be our source of coal, and we'll set this to, what do you guys think? Should we do at least 25? Right now we are about 22.5, but it's still going up, but I set this to 25. And I'm guessing we also could help this out by insulating it. Now it says 25 and it shuts off. Maybe it will go up a little bit more, but it will of course cool down before the yeast kicks in. Maybe we should turn that, front that, so it looks a little bit more fancy, because I have another video to record. Turn around, every now and then I get a little... Boom! It's like 2 weeks later. I did screw up a bit. It has nothing to do with the time. The beer fermented out in... you want to see the beer, don't you? So let's have some pouring. I got a new Hefe glass because I broke all my glasses. It's not my favorite. My favorite Hefe glass is the Spiegelei. It's beautiful. This is much thicker and heavier. How do you break your glass? It's the same way that I do it. I break my glass on the kitchen sink when I trying to shake out the glass after rinsing them or washing them. Do you recognize that? Comment down below. Okay, so it's in the keg, still in the same keg, and it's at 8 degrees Celsius. Look at the beauty. So you should have a Hefe in a Hefeweizen glass. And the reason for the glass is to be able to hold that massive head. To have a good level of carbonation, really nice big white head as we want on our Hefe, and that's why we have the shape of the glass. Sweet! So I have put some CO2 on it. Okay, so there you have her. I don't know how you see it on camera, but it is like a hazy golden. You know, this is like the first haze beer, the natural haze beer before the New England IPA came along. These beers are supposed to be hazy. That's a good looking. That head is going nowhere. 3-finger white head with peaks and valleys. It's like a meringue there. Everyone loves good head. We'll link down to the merch store. We can go and get the t-shirt. I don't have a camera monitor now, so I don't know how well you see that, but take my word for it. That's an awesome looking beer. Need to talk about the numbers and more about the brew, what I screwed up. It was a Shake N Brew, fermented under a week, did overpitch it, did ferment it under pressure, and I did not get the temperature I wanted. I'm going to tell you about that, but we need to dive in. Cheers. Okay, a lot of banana. That's what's on the nose. Cheers. That is a nice beer. Quite balanced, really nice forward banana flavor. Also get some of that clove flavor. It's a really nice wheat beer. Don't underestimate the Shake and Brew method. What beer do you want to see next? The video is not ending now, but what beer you want to see next? I'm thinking a lager that could be a game changer for many people wanting to get into homebrewing. I'm thinking that I should just try different beer styles. So we have a good level of base recipes for you when you get into the Shake and Brew. Nice Belgian blonde with the cool. Well, I want to brew it all with the Shake and Brew. Try to adjust recipes for this method. Awesome. Cheers. The OG was 1049 and this fermented out to 10009. So I think I'm onto something with having some of the grist of easy fermentable sugars. So I'm sticking with the honey, but I might try something else in the lager. Have you any suggestions? We're getting good results, so we shouldn't change it up so much. I think if I were just going with the DME, we would end up with a higher FG. So this is a good baseline we have established here with the 2 brews. So I'm gonna continue. If you haven't watched the first video, go and watch that. There is more in-depth than this video. OG 1049, FG 10009, that means 5.3% ABV. So what did I screw up? Not so much, but I was aiming to start this at 25C to really like push those banana flavor, but it got really bananary. Yeah, that is a word. Bananary. Anyways, I forgot the same here today. Here, I had brew day today. I brewed it yesterday, it's a no-shield. So here, I don't know if you can see this. Here we have one half and the other half is here. And I did the same exactly issue. Had the other one here. This is a mock lager. If you're interested in that. Split batch, 2 different yeast. With you coming up. What I messed up with was that I forgot to attach the heating element to the temp controller, and I did exactly the same thing here today also, but luckily I realized that just now, so it's starting to heat up now. When I came down here the next day, I realized my mistake, and we had dropped from 25 down to 21-ish, but we're still fine and fermentation was going. So instead of like bumping it up to 25, because I don't want to like bump up the temperature a lot in the beginning when the yeast are working, I instead slowly bumped it up like 0.5 degrees Celsius per 12th hour the first 2 days, and then I got a little more aggressive and I did end at 30 degrees Celsius. Still fermented out in under a week, and got really nice Bananary esters. So if you are one of those that are afraid that esters will get subdued too much because of pressurized fermentation, as I mentioned in a lot of my pressurized fermentation videos, I haven't noticed that. Here I had over pitching, according to some of you, and I did ferment under pressure. I did not ferment as hot as planned, and still we got a very Bananary beer. What beer styles do you want to see me brew? Comment down below with that. If you're interested in pressurized fermentation, I do have Q&A videos and a whole playlist with pressurized fermentation videos. Whew, this is a really nice beer, and the recipe is ordered up in the Big Dog Tom's recipe for my patrons to dig into. You can check out that if you want. Cheers.